Hello, and welcome back to the Portsmouth Comic-Con podcast. I am your host, Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel, and on this episode, I got to speak with some Ghostbusters. I got to speak with Andy and Tom from Portsmouth Ghostbusters, and we had a brilliant chat about their group, their absolute amazing times they have at events, raising money for charity, sharing their love for this franchise, and discovered what they will be bringing to Portsmouth Comic-Con this year. There weren't many spoilers, but I did get some exclusives, and I found out that at this year's event, I will be wearing a proton pack, and I can't wait for that moment. So please enjoy a new episode of the Portsmouth Comic-Con podcast with the Portsmouth Ghostbusters. Tom and Andy from Portsmouth Ghostbusters, welcome to the Portsmouth Comic-Con podcast, guys.
How are we doing, all right?
Thanks for having us, Luke.
It's always a pleasure for me to talk with people behind the scenes with this amazing event, finding out more about what passion means to everybody else and why Portsmouth Comic-Con is just such a magical place to be. Since 2018 now, it's been going strong and getting better every year, and I've seen it grow from day one, and it's just impressive to be a part of that machinery. So thank you for joining us. You will be coming back on the 2nd and 3rd of May this year. But before we begin our chat into that, gang, tell us a little bit more, an origin story, as it were, about the Portsmouth Ghostbusters.
Oh, well, it was never meant to be what it is today. It was me, Steve, and a couple of other guys we'd done the whole Star Wars thing. We'd dressed up as Star Wars, done all that, and we were like, what can we do next? And we just figured we'll do some Ghostbuster stuff. We'll get some ovals together, and Steve was going to make some packs out of foam. Funny enough, which I have the original like default pack that he made at the time. It's in bits, but I have it. And nothing ever came of it. That was back in 2012, 11, 12,
Wow.
13, something like that. And we didn't do anything with it at all. I bought the domain name and I got the Ghostbuster logo. I stole Portsmouth Football Club's logo. Sorry, guys, and added that into the Ghostbuster Moogly. And we had Pompey Ghostbuster logo, and that was it. The website logo and a contact form that never did anything for ages. And then I bought a pack, and things changed. So it was it was not long after COVID. I stopped doing fundraising in another avenue of what I was doing at the time, and needed an outlet. I basically got too big for my Stormtrooper outfit, so I passed that on to someone else, and they carried that on, and I decided to look for other avenues of fundraising, and stumbled on one of the easiest cosplays to wear, unless you're wearing a pack, obviously, for ages. And Portsmouth Ghostbusters was reborn, and that's it.
And that's how easy it can be. And we will talk about that pack later on. Now I'm wearing, this was just a complete accident.
You are very.
My shirt is, it's on point. I'm happy with it.
You just need a name badge, and
that's it. I can
that's
find
it. That's all you need.
What I'm livid about is the fact I spent most of yesterday looking for my Ghostbusters t-shirt. I think we've all got one. Funnily enough, with
I've
me,
got a Christmas one at the moment. Look.
I could find every single Superman t-shirt under the sun, but not my Ghostbusters one. But I've got one planned for Comic-Con this year as well. Tom, how did you get involved with the Portsmouth Ghostbusters?
So I'm a lifelong fan of the franchise, and it was back in 2023, putting around on social media like you do, and saw a post by an as then unknown chap named Andy Hornby saying he was getting Ecto 1 down to Port Solent, which is about 10 minutes from my door. Jumped on that opportunity, and it's all kind of snowballed from there, really.
And that's all it can take, is when you see something that, again, triggers a little bit of nostalgia in you, whatever it might be. And that's one of the magical things that I like to see at a Comic-Con. I try to find some time, whether it's having lunch or a quick 5-minute sit down, it's just a people watch. It's a great thing to do. And you can often tell when it's someone's first time at an event because they don't know what they're going to see, but there will just be excitement everywhere when they will spot something from their childhood or a film or a cartoon character that they've forgotten. And much like myself and my love for Superman, Ghostbusters is up there, one of those massive pulp culture references. You see that logo, you know what you're getting. You're getting fun, you're getting team, you're getting just a great time. So to have you back at the con is gonna be amazing.
We
So
just can't wait.
we'll get to the con in a moment. But what is it for you guys? What is it about Ghostbusters that means so much to you both?
I mean, it's iconic for me. Ghostbusters always. I mean, I do a lot of cosplays. I always have done. I run a cosplay group with my wife, which is completely separate to this, and we have 100 people in the group, and we have a million different cosplayers doing different. Everyone's got 10 cosplays, and I've got those. My son has got more cosplays than me and my wife put together. But for me, Ghostbusters is so iconic. You see everybody as a Ghostbuster doing their own thing. You get the odd person who wants to wear a Spengler patch, and that's great. I love that. But everyone's generally got their own name badge, and they're doing their packs all different. You get together with a bunch of Ghostbusters, and you have a talking subject for as long as you're together. There's stuff to talk about all the time. What your packs are doing, how you're dressed, and it's just so iconic. And you see it, and then you see Ecto One, and you just go, you and a kid comes out, and you go, it's Ecto One. It's just
I think the
such a good
first time
franchise.
I saw Ecto One, it was amazing. But when I heard one for the first time as well, you just think,
Oh, yeah.
okay, it just tickles something in the back of my brain that just like, that's it, that's what I was needing.
There's
And
my
it
kid
puts you in
again.
the moment, which is
Oh
fantastic.
yeah,
What
yeah.
about you, Tom? What does Ghostbusters mean to you, sir?
For me, it's one of those franchises that has a kind of universal appeal, really. Like if you like, comedy, obviously there's elements of that. If you like horror or sci-fi, there's elements of that. If you like cars or gadgets, there's elements of that. And it's one of those things that, although it's so 80s in a lot of ways, as I say, it's also got the kind of timeless quality. I mean, it's a film I watched as a kid with my dad. It's a film I've watched with my kids as a dad. Hopefully, if they see fit, it's a film that they'll watch with their kids if they ever have any. So yeah, it's just one of those things that I think appeals to everyone across the generations, and we see that at a lot of the events we do. We get fans, young, old, and everything in between, coming up to us and just saying how much they love what we do and love the films. So that's really good.
It is, though. I mean, what I have seen when it comes to pop culture is something that I've been a fan of studying since I was in college many, many a year ago. But we see it time and time again. Time is a circle, it's a loop. We see things get popular, they go away, they come back. I'm seeing shell suits are coming back into fashion. Something that was just,
Nice.
I had quite a few back in the day, and they weren't seen as trendy then, but now they're making this huge comeback. And with shows like Stranger Things that has just been on TV recently, they reference Ghostbusters and that must have done big help for the revival of Ghostbusters. But as you said, it's a franchise that's never really gone away. We've had new films, we've had new toys, we've had new Funko Pops come out every few years or so. What do you think that it is about this franchise that is so timeless?
I mean, the new films introduce younger actors, and
Mm.
I think that's really relatable. And new stories are coming out with those younger actors that are more relevant today, and younger kids are, it's appealing to more people. I think they're redoing the cartoon is coming out again, and it's just kicking into so many different levels of age groups and genres. Like Tom said, there's so many different genres that it's relatable to as a franchise. So many people are just interested in it, and it's just that interest factor is just so high. We've got the dads that turn up to events with their kids, but it's the dads' eyes go like, and when a dad is more interested in Ghostbusters than the kids, because you just see it in their eyes. And they push their kids over to us and get their kids involved. I'm like, no, you come and get involved. This is your time to shine. This is your thing as well. It doesn't just have to be the kids nowadays. It can be any age group, and that's how good it is.
And again, going back to Portsmouth Comic-Con, there is something literally around every corner where I know for me, I was curious at first how Portsmouth Comic-Con was going to make this a hit. And they've done it again every year. But I'm thinking a lot of people from Portsmouth at the time didn't really know what a Comic-Con could be.
No.
And I've been going to cons
Mm.
around the world for years now. And everyone is different. Everyone has their elements that make it their own. But something about Portsmouth Comic-Con and the different booths and stores that they have, it's where the family can come along and say, well, look, there's some Pokemon there for the kids, but there's some Ghostbusters there for me. Or over the back, they've got books now, or they've got cosplay or arcade games. There's something that can bring families together that have got so many different likes, because we all have that now. I think we hyperfixate on something for so long, but
Yeah.
then there's all these other little branches that go along with it. And that's why, for me, Portsmouth Comic-Con has it all, because you're never going to be bored. But seeing parents and uncles and aunties and just everyone with the younger generations there all getting together to embrace that passion, whatever it may be, everyone's included, everyone's involved, and it's such a beautiful moment to see. So what can we expect to see from you guys at the Comic-Con this year? What little sprinkle of magic will you be bringing to Portsmouth Comic-Con?
We've got a few
Well,
books
I mean, if you
coming
saw us
in,
last
haven't we?
year, we've got a ton of stuff going on. We've actually got an admin meeting this week
Nice.
because there's so much that we need to get to grips with for the event. However, last year you would have seen us with our stall there. So we bring an event called Mass Hysteria, which is our fundraising event, which will be there this year. So we'll have our new gazebo, which is all nicely done out with the Pompey Ghostbuster stuff. So we'll look good as well as be on site. Last year we had a tent and we were just kind of off in the background. But this year you're going to see us. As soon as you walk through the gates, I think we're going to be up there. So Mass Hysteria will be on site, but we're also going to have a walk.
Ooh.
Now we can tell you what that is. So we're going to be putting together something quite special. So we're going to have like a firehouse walkthrough. So we're going to have not giving away too much.
No, don't.
But it's not.
Please spoil it for me.
You will see lots of props, lots of ghosts, but we're not just going to make this a walk in and walk out the back way. This is going to be a fully interactive experience. So you will need your phones.
Okay.
Because you'll be using QR codes and other bits and pieces. There'll be Easter eggs in there. You find the Easter eggs, you might win a prize or two. But everything will be fully interactive. So you'll be able to, if you see a ghost, you will then be able to know who that ghost is, where that ghost came from, where potentially that ghost is today. All kinds of information about everything. So all props and stuff. And the idea is not to just have people walk in the door and say, I like that, that's good, yeah, not like that, and then off. We want them to walk through the door and actually have an experience inside a walkthrough, and it's going to be pretty special, I hope. We've got lots of people working on things in the background. There's lots of things going on.
We've got some insanely creative people. As part
we have.
We're very
Absolutely.
lucky, and they are building things that I think, particularly when I first joined the group, they're probably things we never imagined we'd have. And yeah, there's a famous line in Ghostbusters, we have the tools, we have the talent. And I think this year we're hopefully going to put that all together, and it's going to be really impressive.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And that's what I love to see, that is that you're all so proud of this gang of busters, but
absolutely,
it's not always enough. You want to push those boundaries. You want to do more, not only for the Portsmouth Ghostbusters, but for the community. And you want to do justice for the brand, which is what I love to see, because it's Ghostbusters at the bottom line, why it means all so much to you, which I love to see. So let's talk about these costumes, these amazing jumpsuits that I've seen at events and all over the place. As you said, it can be quite easy to be a cosplayer when it comes to Ghostbusters. Many years ago, I think there's some pictures in an archive somewhere of me and my buddy that went out on Halloween as Ghostbusters. Now, This was a last minute attempt. We went to, I think, a shop in town, and we bought just like some medical jumpsuits because it's all they had. We thought, that'll do. Let's make that. Covered it in stickers. We coloured it in with pens. We made a proton pack out of shoe boxes and tin foil and the hose pipes. Brilliant. But we looked the part and we had fun doing it. But
that is what it's all about.
And that's it. But
that's it.
It's when you hone your craft and you have such attention to detail with these suits at an event. They are screen accurate. There's no other way of putting it. So what was it like, guys, for you both when you first saw yourselves in a Ghostbusters outfit?
You get a feeling, don't you? That's the thing. You get a little feeling down the spine of your back, and you go, "Yeah, that's good." I mean, the thing The thing for me with things like Comic-Con, with Portsmouth Comic-Con is and for the local area, is so important. It really is. There are so many people who want to get involved in cosplay and other aspects of Comic-Cons and stuff like that. And these events just make it possible for a start, and such a family-friendly atmosphere. And when I first put on a Ghostbusters outfit compared to other outfits that I've worn, you're just like, yeah, that kind of is good. And I wouldn't, I don't mind going to a Comic-Con looking it like that, like this, like a Scot, because I've got another outfit. In fact, it's just down there that I weathered up and made look horrible and grungy and horrible. But that means I can be a Ghostbuster, but a slightly different character.
Yes.
I can be, these two suits are completely different. That's fine, because if you look at any Ghostbuster film, from one scene to the next, something is always different, or from one character to another character, their belts change, and so you can have bits on your belt like I've got on the back here, the way you want it, and how you want to place it, and it's not as a stricter cosplay as say some of the Star Wars stuff, or if you go, some of the Star Wars bits and pieces where you might say, well, that's not quite right. It doesn't matter with Ghostbusters. It really doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. Be yourself. You make your own Ghostbuster. And when I made that first thing, in fact, I can show you how dirty it is. It's just it's horrible. Look at that. It's just
It's
I
just
threw
weathered,
it
though.
in the
That's what I
garden.
like. It's got
I
character,
threw it in the
as
mud.
they say.
Yeah, and it kind of fits the pack, because I made the pack dirty, so that kind of was that kind of character. But I just had a feeling. I just went with my gut feeling. Everyone was like, "You're crazy. What are you doing with your pack? It's just really weathered." And you just look, and I'm like, "That's my character. That's me, my Ghostbuster."
That's it.
And when you see other Ghostbusters, you're like, "That's your Ghostbuster." I see some amazing proton packs that aren't even made like this. They're not even like that. I've got a friend who made a proton like yourself. You did out of cardboard boxes and tubing, stuff like that. He made stuff out of it, out of garden waste.
Yeah.
And he's got smoke coming out of it, lights in it. And for me, that's like, I could never make that. And I'm in awe of people who can do stuff like that. It's such a craft. The imagination side of what we do is a massive thing for me, to see someone do stuff like that and be proud of what they've done and the character they are. And
And that's
that
it.
just puts a, feels it feels for me. So that's what I'm
Cosplay for me is a huge part of Comic-Con.
Mm.
And I've seen so many unique characters brought to life over the years. But for me, it's going into a Comic-Con. That's my Disney World. I was like, this is it. These are
Yeah.
all the characters from TV and comics and films that I've loved over the years. But what I enjoy seeing now is when I'm there and I'll see a character that I won't recognize, but people are stopping them for photographs, and then they're saying, "Oh, that's a great piece." I'm like, well,
Mm.
let's talk about that. Why do these
Yeah.
characters mean so much to you? And it's why engaging conversations is such a magical thing at an event like Portsmouth Comic-Con. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what you all bring there to that as well. But Tom, talking about cosplay,
Yeah.
can you remember when you first put on a proton pack?
When I first put on the proton pack, I probably would have been about 4 years of age. And I won't tell you how many years ago that was, because
Fair enough.
But it would have been one similar to what you said, Luke. One that my dad made from me from a shoebox and a washing up liquid bottle.
Yep.
And then I upgraded about a year later to the iconic Kenner pack that was released as part of the Real Ghostbusters toy line. And then it's just been an evolution since then. And evolution, I think, is a key word. Going back to what Andy was saying about the flight suits. If you buy a Ghostbusters flight suit and you think, I'm happy with that, you're never finished. As you wear it and the more events you attend and the more kind of influences you pick up, you'll think, oh, I want to tweak that element of it, or I want to add this patch now, or I want to get one in a different color. So yeah, from looking back from when I bought my first quote unquote authentic flight suit, I've come a long way since then. I've added one in black, I've added one in grey for Ghostbusters 2. So yeah, if it's a hobby you're getting into, just be prepared that you get that bug and you will want more and more, is all I'll say.
Which is, it can get tricky. I mean, there have been so many sort of
Yeah.
hobbies and things that I've taken on over the years where I've got elements of it now, like a jack of all trades, as it were. Like, as a young age, I could build Lego. can still build Lego now, it could turn into a very, very expensive hobby. And then I tried a little bit of Warhammer, even
Yeah.
more expensive. But there's something about that when we get into it, it brings us joy. And a few months ago, I was meeting my girlfriend's grandfather for the first time, and I wanted to know more about him. And I wanted to be as, as casual and effortless as possible. So she gave me like a rundown of what he likes. And I met him. Fantastic. Then we were making a cup of tea in his kitchen, and I looked into a spare room, and I was like, what's all that in there? And he was like, oh, that's my Lego collection. And I was like, now, like, why not start with that, love? That was fantastic. But it's lead with the Lego.
You could have said. Yeah.
And he went in there, and he had the Ecto one, and I was like, wow. Along with some other fantastic pieces that are, retired items now. Some fantastic NASA rockets and really cool
nice.
items.
Yeah.
But there's something about seeing Ecto 1 in Lego form. I've got a few toys here that I've collected from over the years. I can remember seeing a lot of Ghostbuster stuff as a kid at car boot sales and thinking, that's mine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having that.
Yeah.
That's mine. But there's something about that car that is just so memorable, and seeing it on the screen and seeing it in person. Do you feel like a closer connection to the franchise when you see that car in real life?
Do you know what? It takes me back to an event I did in Crawley. It was before actually I even really pushed the Portsmouth Ghostbusters. I was doing some charity work with another group, and this was before where we met Tom back in 2023. Before that event, I met Carl, who's got the car, or one of the cars, one of the four main cars in the UK. A guy called Carl owns it, and he was at the event, and he turned up, lights going, siren on, and there was about 10 busters there at the time. It was at a cinema, so it would have been for a release, I think, of Afterlife, and or something going on anyway. And you have no idea how high everyone jumped with the packs on, and everyone was like. And it was just incredible. Everyone then phones out. We're like, everyone's like, and it turned up. And then we had a whole day with Carl. It was great. I got some pictures leaning into the car. Make sure I got all the iconic pictures. Leaning into the engine and stuff like that, or under the car and stuff. And I even put myself on the floor, got under the car at one point. And then Carl left before everyone else did, and put the sirens on again, and everyone was still buzzing. And we're talking 8 hours with the car. Yeah. And we're still buzzing for hearing that siren and seeing those lights go off. I've had a guy, we've got a local guy who's got an Ecto 1C, so not the original car. He's got a Chrysler that he's done out as an Ecto, and it's incredible. The stuff he's done to it is amazing. We nearly got arrested in Portsmouth because I decided that let's do a fan film. We'll do a fan film. We'll get Ecto 1C in. We'll do this stuff, and we'll run around town, and we had lights and sirens going, and got pulled over within 5 minutes of even started filming. But it was great. The guys were great. The Portsmouth police are brilliant. They're amazing. I've in the past I've worked with a lot of the guys anyway, so I knew the sergeant there, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "We're asking for forgiveness rather than permission." Is the way Busters do things. We just do things, and it just, if it works out, it works out.
That's it. That's true to the character.
But that
is it.
But it's getting the car. If I'm doing a fan film, I want a car in it, and that was the whole premise of it. And so yeah, the car is so iconic with Ghostbusters. It is such a thing.
It's a huge part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got three Ecto ones up there. And I have got the Lego in the loft. I haven't done it yet because I want to do it with the boy when he's a bit older.
See?
So I haven't built it yet. But...
Is it sealed? Is it a sealed Lego box?
It's sealed.
See, that's an investment now.
I bought it. No, I did. I bought it a while ago, and the missus don't know.
It's an investment. That's the thing. But
the missus didn't hear me.
It's an iconic car. I've been to New York a couple of times, and I've wanted to see one there. I mean, it's I think when I walk around New York, it's hard not to think around those iconic films that have been set there. But for me, I think of New York, I think of Ghostbusters, and it just makes it such more of a magical place. So for you to be able to bring the magic of the Ghostbuster to events around the UK, it is fantastic. Now, it's hard to pick favourites for me, it's always been hard to pick a favourite Superman. But Tom, first of all, for you, sir, have you got a favourite scene or a favourite movie that when you see it on TV, you think I've got to stick around for this. I've got to watch this now.
Well, this is a bit controversial because it's not as loved as Ghostbusters 1984, but I'm a huge
Okay.
apologist for Ghostbusters 2.
Okay, that's fine.
I think for me, it was weirdly the first Ghostbusters film I actually saw when I was a kid, so it maybe resonates with me a little bit more. And I love it. I love the villain in it. I think is iconic, Vigo.
Yes.
And I much prefer the darker grey flight suits that I mentioned earlier. Hence, I have one hanging in my wardrobe at the moment. And so for me, Ghostbusters 2 is always my go-to part of the Ghostbusters franchise.
I mean, Vigo for me, just again, I can remember being traumatized by that painting
Yeah, 100%.
as a kid.
That was a hide behind the sofa moment, 100%.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It was like, well,
Yeah.
even before you saw that sort of come to life, you think, that's a scary painting. What's going on with that? There's a food restaurant down here on the South Coast called Pie Caramba. Now, they do fantastic pies, funnily enough, and they've also got a fantastic name. In their restaurants, it's filled with Ghostbusters merchandise, Superman merchandise, lots of things from pulp culture. And they were at Comic-Con a few years ago. But in one of their stores, they've got, as you walk around the corner, just the huge portrait of Vigo. I mean, it still gives me chills. And I have to
Let them know where that is.
Well, there's one, they've got one in Southsea, one in Winchester. They're popping up all over the place.
Okay,
but
good.
When I saw the portrait, I had to get close to the eyes just to make sure that there was no
Make
little.
sure they're not moving.
There's no little glimmer there that's just going to bring me the baby. I didn't want that.
We
moment
have a
going through.
Vigo, fun enough, that we bring to events. It's only on like a sheet, if you like, and we drop it down so people can have like pictures with it. But you see people come up and go, and they're walking past it like,
yeah, no,
is it?
It's a dreadful. And
Yeah.
again, as I say, I've got strong memories of enjoying Ghostbusters 2 and remembering the ooze and remembering the comedy and remembering the fear from that film.
Oh, yeah.
I know Ghostbusters is supposed to have scary moments, but seeing that poor little baby go through the streets in that pram, like thinking, this is real horror.
You couldn't do it today.
No, it was like
It
Mr. Mr. Bean and that baby when you got him at the fun fair in Southsea. It was all like that. It was crazy stuff.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy? Is there a moment in the Ghostbusters movies that really
it's
stands
the
out for
Cedric
you?
Hotel from the first film. I can't not. Yeah, seeing Slimer for the first time. It was when I was a kid. That put the frighteners up me at first, but then the whole scene in with the chandelier and stuff. Oh, it's so funny. The comedy in there is just incredible. And when I look back, even now, it's just my favourite part of films. It has to be.
And it's a great part of that film. Again, it is timeless, I feel, because not necessarily the special effects, but it's the props. Props are timeless no matter what, and which is why I enjoy seeing these props at events and getting up close and personal and seeing the proton packs and getting up really close and seeing the scratches that you've added to the kits to make it look more visually pleasing. Now, before we recorded, Andy, I did mention the fact that I've never worn a proton pack before.
You did.
I think this is going to look at Tom's face light up.
We've got to do something about that. We've got to do something about
that. Is going to get sorted this year, mate. Yeah. So we're going to, along with all the other bits and pieces, we're obviously going to have a few packs down there that we'll make sure one lands on your back at some point.
Wonderful
and you can have a wander around and stuff. Absolutely.
They look heavy. Are they heavy?
I'm not going to say no, because they are.
Yeah.
And they're not comfortable either to wear for very long. But some of our guys, they leave them on their back all day long. A lot of us take stands with us so we can plonk them down and stuff. And a lot of the stuff you'll see at Portsmouth Comic-Con, they'll be up somewhere or they'll be on stands. So they'll be showcased and people can have a little touch. Maybe not, too much. But we will make sure that you have one on your back and you can see how heavy they are and how uncomfortable they are.
I'm scared when that moment happens because I'm thinking, hang on, this feels right. Again.
Yeah.
You'll be switching from the Superman genre. No.
Well, I'll try and combine the both. I'm sure I'll be wearing some sort of Superman merchandise on the day.
The mashups.
See?
I love a good mashup in cosplay. Do you know what? We have some people who do some really good Ghostbuster mashups of other genres.
Yes.
And they are really good. you know, some Star Wars stuff. We've had Star Wars and Ghostbuster mashups and other bits and pieces. But if you can do a Superman mashup with
See?
Ghostbusters,
And it works. That's what I love about,
Yeah.
again, another thing about just watching people walk around a Comic-Con. It is
It's
a
brilliant.
copyright nightmare. There are
Yes.
just so many different brands, franchises coming
Yeah.
together. I think I saw last year there was a Teletubby on going through the Star Trek set, and I was like, hang on, this is just, it doesn't go, but it works.
This is, yeah,
But I mean, there's
psychedelic, man.
cosplay is such a fantastic part of the event, and seeing all the Ghostbusters again walk around the Star Wars event and just people sort of interacting, characters that you wouldn't normally see together.
Yeah.
It's surreal to see that at an event. And again, it's it's a huge plug for the event. What I love about
Brilliant.
Portsmouth Comic-Con is you buy your ticket and then everything else involved inside is included.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
it's something there for everyone. I've been to cons, I say, around the world, and it's often you go in and then you've got to pay for this photo op, you've got to
Extra
pay
this,
for that
extra
one,
that,
you've got to
yeah.
pay for this. And it can be quite extortionate at times. So an affordable Comic-Con like Portsmouth is great for me, which is why I love that.
Really
So
good.
let's talk again now a little bit about this mass hysteria, Andy, that you were
Yes.
talking about. I was doing a bit of research and looking on the website, and there was something along the lines of if you visit all 3 events, you can sort of collect something. Was that right?
Yes, actually, I want to pass it over to Tom because Tom is taking care of that.
Oh,
Aren't you,
look at
Tom?
that.
Yeah.
Perfect segue.
Yes.
Go,
So,
Tom.
Yeah, so we've got a little kind of promotion, if you like, at Mass Hysteria. So that we're doing 3 events this year that are all part of a wider Mass Hysteria campaign. And each one, you'll be able to get a little pin badge, conveniently labelled 1, 2, and 3. And if you get all 3 and present them to us at the 3rd and final event, there will be a reward. I'm not going to say what the reward is, so at this point in time, it's all under.
Because we don't know yet.
Yeah. Bit of a giveaway.
That too.
I was trying to be clandestine on that. But yeah, there will be a reward if you collect all 3 badges. So make sure you come and see us at all 3 events to be part.
Oh, we're trying to
And
get
we
that
have, you will see on my arm there, that's
Yes.
from Mass Hysteria this year, or last year, I'll say.
Ooh.
The new patch is green for
See,
Slimer.
that pops, doesn't it?
2026.
Again, me being a completionist and collecting things is always an
Yeah.
easy way to get me on board. Whether it be stickers or badges or lanyards, I'm absolutely awful for lanyards. I think when I first went to Disney World many, many years ago, it's when they started releasing their pins. And I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is, because this is my first time here and I don't know if I'll be coming back, I'm going to collect a pin from every ride that I go on. And I did well with
that's
that.
expensive.
It did turn up quite expensive. But then I found out that you could swap pins with other people around the park. And I was like, this is just making my head explode. Going back to those days as a kid when I used to collect the Beano sticker album. Not necessarily the football stickers, it was the Beano that I was after.
Yeah.
And I had to get every single one. Same goes for badges and pins. So if there are pins involved now with all you fantastic guys, that's going to be happening. Talking about collecting, let's start with you, Tom. Have you got a favourite piece of a Ghostbusters memorabilia in your collection, or is there just that one thing that you are craving to add to it?
I lament things that I've let go in the past. So as I alluded to earlier, I had pretty much the entire Kenner catalogue of Ghostbusters stuff when I was a kid, which as I got into my sort of teens, I let go. And I have a lifetime of regret over that. And there's 2 bits in particular that stand out. One was what was referred to as the Ecto Bomber, which was a Ghostbusters plane, if you can imagine such a thing. And I believe, and someone better versed might correct me on this, but I think it was the last Kenner Ghostbusters toy released as part of that line. As such, it was released in quite limited quantities. And is now quite sought after. So I wish I'd kept hold of that.
Yeah,
and the other one, which is a little bit sort of niche, or more niche, I should say. If you remember the High Street opticians, Dolland and Aitchison.
Yes,
they did.
I do.
Yeah, they did a line of real Ghostbusters eyeglasses. And I was a specky kid, so I had a pair, and it came with a bespoke glasses case that was designed to look like one of the gizmos that the Ghostbusters wear on their belts. And there was a dark blue variety and a grey variety. I remember it well because I had both.
He's a true collector. Yeah, I am both.
I wish
Oh,
I'd got hold of
man.
those because I think they look really cool. And if I had one now, they would just be perfect to put my mobile phone in on my belt when I'm at an event.
See?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
if
so
anyone's
how
listening
often
to
are
Oh,
you?
this and
man.
has one in their
Yeah,
collection and wants to let it go,
that's
give
it.
me a
I was
shout.
gonna say,
That'd be
how
great.
often are you on going on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, just typing in Donald the Nature's and Glasses
It
Ghostbusters?
might be a
Wow,
regular occurrence, Luke, but
That's
I
a
can
safe search.
fantastic. Andy, what about you, sir? What are some of your
Wow.
favourite items in your
Likewise, I
collection?
had a lot of the kind of stuff. The firehouse where you had the slime drip.
Yes,
That was oh, I love that toy, and I can't and the old Kenner Ecto. Uh Crazy. Same thing. Now it's as many Ectos as I can get in my cabinet.
man. That's it.
So
If it's
it's
something out,
Ecto for
I'm
me
going
at
to
the moment.
buy it. But that's the
Yeah.
thing which is dangerous now. Now we've grown up with these franchises. We've got what we call, adult money now. We still have that responsibility of not buying everything. But you're thinking, oh, if I don't buy that, I'm letting
Yeah.
down the younger version of myself. So I'm buying it for him.
Exactly.
That's it. Just add all that logic there to it. That's what you have
Yeah.
to start fighting with that inner responsibility, saying, well, I'm not going to find it again. You never know. And that's what, again, another thing about Portsmouth Comic-Con there is magic, is the variety of traders there. You can always find
Oh
something
God.
new
Yeah.
that you weren't expecting to see.
Mm.
There's one particular booth that I've been there now for the past, I think, 4 years or so, and they know that I'm coming. I'm sure of it because there's always unique Superman items on
Yeah.
display that they know that they're not taking those home. When I see them, they're coming home with me. And I was there on the Saturday last year, and I put a few items behind. And then I came back on the Sunday to pick up said items, and there were more Superman bits that they brought back from home. I was like, "That is good sales.
That is very good.
that is how
Upsell all the time. Yeah.
you help out your customers." But again, there is something there for so many different, I say, budgets, as it were. I've seen comics and toys there for £1 to £2, and then seen the more expensive stuff as well. It's almost as if Nick and Kurt, the heroes behind the scenes at Portsmouth Comic-Con, they've sort of researched all the big cons around the world
Yeah.
and
And
seen
they
what
bought
has
the
worked and
best
seen
stuff.
what doesn't.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they want to change it each year to make it more special, but keep on to the things that make it work as well.
The marketing behind what they do is just insane.
I
It
mean,
really is.
they're always
They
up to
get the right
something.
people down there, and
It's
they market it very well as well. It's so good.
I mean, I think we've all seen where you can go to these big events in London and New York or Manchester, and don't get me wrong, you're going to have a fantastic time, but there is a price packet that goes along with that. And if you want to go and see a celebrity, great. If you don't, you can go off and do something else. With Portsmouth, they try and make it all affordable but fun
Yeah.
at the same time with a great variety of guests. Now, for you guys, if you could, if you had the perfect world and a dream guest was attending Portsmouth Comic-Con, who would you both like to have be there?
Tom, you go. Because I don't think I can just choose one person.
Oh,
From a Ghostbusters perspective, I think,
mm,
bless him, he's obviously no longer with us, but Harold Ramis would have been amazing. But
yes.
obviously, Dan Aykroyd would be amazing as well. To have either of those, original creative driving forces
Yeah.
behind it would just be amazing. And Dan Aykroyd's done so many other things as well that you could quiz him about. You could be there
Yeah.
for hours potentially. But
It would be Dan for me.
yeah, I mean, his enthusiasm for Ghostbusters, even now, 40 odd years
it's
after
still
he
there.
first wrote it, is massive. He's just a ball of energy about it, and yeah, to have him there.
I would have too many questions. He
Well,
wouldn't be
that's
able
the
to. He wouldn't.
I would have so many.
I wouldn't know where to
I know that
start.
the fact that he loves so much about the world of paranormal activity,
This is it.
I love that because it's those two characters. It's like he's brought the characters to life. Is that because of Ghostbusters, or was that passion there
Well,
before?
his whole family was totally into the paranormal. That's how this kind of storyline
Yeah.
came about, I think. And he just grew up in that kind of environment. So he's just had a lifetime of ghost this, ghoul that, and spirit this, and to be in the forefront of this franchise with that kind of background is just I too many questions going through my mind for him. He wouldn't be.
That's the thing.
2
You
days
would
isn't
get bored
enough.
quick.
Portsmouth Comic-Con would have to be longer.
It would be. Yeah,
That's
we'll
the
make it a
thing.
week just for the Ghostbusters element. That'd be fantastic. So, who else then, apart from that, Andy, would you like to see at Portsmouth Comic-Con?
Some of the new crew, I think. Some of the younger stuff. Just everybody. Bring
Just
the whole
everybody.
crew back. Bring the crew back.
And that is
I'm a
that's
big
what it's making.
go on.
It's making again. It's for when like myself and Superman and people that are passionate about a brand. Everything about it means something to them. So it's again that same old quote of embracing the past but respecting the future, and vice
Yeah,
versa. It's bringing it all together, because as long as you're getting new Ghostbusters things, that story continues, it evolves,
absolutely.
and
Yeah.
sadly more things will be added to your collection and your wish
Yeah, I
list,
mean,
which is what's
it's a
tricky
shame that
about it.
some of the OG stuff gets left aside, but then you have to evolve, right? How these things are taken on by new generations. There's no point in having the same storyline over and over and over. And I know there are people in the Ghostbusters arena who aren't that au fait with the way the new films are kind of going, and that's okay. That's their story. That's their thing. But I think you can't evolve a story without having an evolution in the story itself. You can't have a new generation like the old story uh, nowadays, because the way people think nowadays is different.
That's it.
And I think having that evolution is core to any franchise. Uh, you know, look at what they do in Star Wars.
Yeah, it's again,
It is what it is.
but again, as we said before, time is a circle. It all keeps coming
Yeah,
round again, but it all keeps
yeah.
stinging back to that core values of Ghostbusters, which is
Mm,
it's a team, it's a gang of friends, it's people that are passionate about what they do, which is what all you guys do as well, which is
yeah.
so beautiful to see, which is why I can't wait to come down and see what you're all getting up to. If somebody hasn't attended Portsmouth Comic-Con before, why should they attend this one, guys?
Well, this year we're right at the front, so you
Mm-hmm.
come into Quartz Comp, you're seeing the Ghostbusters first.
Straight away.
So
Straight away.
straight away, you see, we are at the forefront. We're not round the corner. You don't have to come looking for us. You are going to be walking through us. But,
Much like
but
the
having said
ghosts.
that, the like you said, Luke, earlier on, the wide variety of things at Portsmouth Comic Con is almost iconic. Just to Portsmouth Comic, you don't get that amount of variety at Comic Cons. You go to any other smaller or even some of the bigger Comic Cons, you see that you kind of see the same things all the time. With Portsmouth, it's different every year. It's not the same as what other cons are doing. There's new stuff added every year. It's just an amazing time, and it's so family friendly. You can't get friendlier for
Yeah.
families at a Comic Con. You go to other
I'm
Comic Cons, it's all just about this one thing or it's about that one thing. This is about everybody. Inclusivity is I think is the main term, and I think it's
yeah,
great for
it's
Portsmouth Comic
perfectly
Con.
put.
And we're doing some things we've never done before this year. We're bringing Mass Hysteria back, which is the charity side of what we do. So everything we sell, every raffle ticket bought, everything you buy from our stall, every game you play that you throw a couple of quid in the bucket for, all goes to cancer research. Everything. And we just pride ourselves on doing one extra step each year. And that's why we have different patches. So you can
Collect the
have
whole
that.
set. See,
Absolutely, yeah.
you're scratching that itch in my head there, Andy. Well done. And Tom, what is it for you that just makes you think Comic Con is just so special at Portsmouth?
I would echo what's already been said. Really, is that I think there is something for everyone. I mean, if you want to go and see, cosplay groups like the Portsmouth Ghostbusters, there's an area for that. If you want to go and buy toys, merchandise, there's a whole area devoted to that. If you want to spend your day rifling through comics, there's a whole area dedicated to that. If you want to go and hear, talks by celebrity guests or get their autograph or talk to them one to one, there's an opportunity to do that as well. So it really is just ticks all the boxes, really.
It does.
But I would just say to anyone attending, wear comfortable shoes because you'll be on your feet all day and doing a lot of
That
walking.
is no. With all jokes
That's a
aside,
good bit of
I can remember
advice.
going to my first Comic Con years ago. I asked friends, like, what do I need to do? Have I got to make a map? Have I got to bring stuff? Have I got to buy stuff? The first thing was like, get good socks, wear good
Yeah,
shoes. And I was like,
100%.
it's the best advice you can get. Yeah, and you think Portsmouth Guildhall is pretty much like a TARDIS. You think, how do they fit everything in there?
I have
They've
no
got that
idea.
TARDIS on the
And it's
lift
bigger every
downstairs,
year.
and
Yeah.
they are finding more room. But for me, it's because I don't want to miss a thing, to quote Aerosmith. I'm there from the moment they let me in to the moment they kick me out. Normally, I'll be down there on the Friday when everyone's setting up. I'll be trying to plan my interviews and plan my schedules of where I've got to be. Because again, I said it before, it's like my Disney World. I don't want to have a moment be wasted. So even when I'm sitting down on the steps, having a bit of a breather or having something to eat, I'm still enjoying something, whether it be the cosplay parade or, as you said, a talk with a guest or something with Express FM. It is
Putting a pack
such
on.
a, it's a perfect way. It's such a valuable event for Portsmouth, which is it's in its 100th year this year. Portsmouth, I found out recently, we're doing some
Yeah.
fantastic things. So with Portsmouth and Comic-Con and Victorious, we are putting the town back on the map,
Absolutely.
as it were, for good reasons. And I absolutely adore that. And I adore the hard work and passion that you all have for the things that bring you joy and sharing it with the world. Before we wrap up and we all get excited for the 2nd and 3rd of May this year, because we're in 2026 now,
I know,
and that's very
it's gone so
exciting.
quick.
Where can people find you all online to see what you were getting up to?
We are everywhere. I'm quite proud. We've got a new website that I built myself,
Well
and
done.
it's becoming a community hub.
Wow.
It's not just for us. Our guys and girls can log in and do their own things, but we have community there where you can do so much. You can interact with us. We are on Instagram, Facebook. Search for Portsmouth Ghostbusters. TikTok, we're on there as well for our sins.
You're on
I don't really
everywhere.
understand TikTok, but we're on there.
I'm
We do the
learning.
TikTok
I'm
thing.
still learning. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gradual, but I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I'm learning
yeah.
the basics. But
And
I'll say there will be
we've got a
links to all
YouTube
your
channel as well.
reaches.
It was mainly
YouTube as
my
well.
YouTube channel, but we kind of use that as the Portsmouth Ghostbuster YouTube channel as well.
And that's good
So
because I say Portsmouth Comic-Con is getting out there now. It's a
We are.
brand name that is building. The guys are doing some fantastic works with Portsmouth Comic-Con in Hastings now as well.
I know.
There's
Yeah, I
lots
know.
going on. And what I've noticed, which I really love to see, is when other Comic-Cons around the world are almost doing the same things as Portsmouth Comic-Con
They're
or putting their
looking, aren't
twist
they?
on it.
Yeah.
The right eyes
Well,
are doing the right things,
yeah.
which is
So
fantastic.
there's
to
so
see.
many unique things about Portsmouth Comic-Con that other cons don't currently tap into, and they're gonna because they're gonna see it's a formula that works.
Yes.
And I've been to Portsmouth Comic-Con now, not just as Ghostbusters. I've done other things as well, but for a good few years now, and I've seen the evolution of what they're doing and how they're expanding and the different stalls they're bringing in and the different types of comics, writers, books, and tapping into all different areas of what can possibly make it, as good as it ever can be.
That's
I,
it.
I just don't know what they're going to do next year.
That's the thing.
What
I
they're gonna
think
do
they're
after
already
this one.
planning stuff for their
Yeah.
10-year anniversary. I know
Wow,
what Nick
okay,
and
fair
Kurt
enough.
are like, and they're probably doing something. But
Yeah.
as you said, there are so many elements of what a geek can be now. You go back 15, 20 years, there was the word geek and nerd had so many negative connotations to it. Whereas now it's like, embrace it.
Ah,
If it brings you
It's
joy, do it. So
it's a
there's
scale.
so much there.
Everyone's
There
on there
is.
somewhere.
That's it. And now they're adding this. They're adding more to a book zone this year,
Yeah.
which for me is
I heard about that.
risky. For the last few years, I've been heavily back into reading books, and that could be an expensive visit for me to
Ooh,
come back this year. I'm
more to
still
spend.
saving up. I'm still getting my
Yeah.
little Comic-Con budget for the weekend.
I
But
love it.
that's what it is. It's about just enjoying the things that bring you joy, and the fact that it's in my hometown,
Yeah,
and there's
exactly.
no commute. It's absolutely mint for me.
Yeah, I mean, being a Portsmouth Ghostbuster coming to Portsmouth Comic-Con is amazing. We're working closely with, I should mention, Hampshire and Dorset Ghostbusters are coming down. They're going to be doing a Ghostbuster firing range with us.
Well, hello,
And
that sounds fun.
it's you know what I asked them to come because I've seen them what they do at events, and we sort of said, look, that we got to kind of get you involved in this. It's so much
Yes.
fun. It's such a crowd pleaser, and obviously we've got I think Ecto One's back. I think is that can we say that?
Ooh.
I don't
if
I
not,
don't know. I'm
there's-
sure I
there's-
heard
I
Ecto
hope
One's
so.
coming back.
If not, you just hear that in the background. They've brought some fantastic vehicles to Comic-Con over the years.
Oh, haven't they
And
just? Yeah.
I was there the year they brought out the just as I turned up on the Saturday morning, the Batmobile came off the ramp.
I was
and it
there
was
as
just like-
Bane that year. I was like, they
perfectly
bought the
done.
perfect car for me.
Perfectly done. But to see that come off the ramp with the flames coming out the back, and I was like,
Brilliant.
this feels like being on a movie set now. And they've had XO1, they've had the DeLorean, they've had cars
Yeah.
from Jurassic Park over the
Yeah.
years. It's a copyright nightmare, as I said, but it is just nostalgia overload.
You can't record video because everyone's playing music that you can't then put anywhere because it's copyright.
It's all too much.
And we will have Ghostbuster music there. Don't you worry.
Of course. I want that. I need that whole soundtrack playing from all the films.
That's coming. Don't worry.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for your time today, for the prep and the work that you're putting into this event. The weekend goes by in the blink of an eye, but I see the work that goes into it, and I appreciate every single person that does. So
I've got
Andy
a massive team of guys and girls who just are incredible, and it would be wrong for me to take any kind of thing without mentioning all the guys and girls in the background that help me run a good team. And people like Tom are just incredible. He deals with so much social media stuff. I don't know how he does it. And I give him stuff to do on a weekly basis, and he just takes it on and just goes for it. And he's so amazing.
I can confirm that's true. Yes.
Yes, that's very true. Thanks, Andy. That's it. Another email. That could have been a meeting. That's fine. But it's that passion that is there that started with Ghostbusters and has evolved, much like the franchise, into something so much more powerful.
Absolutely.
That is
Yeah.
reaching a bigger audience all through
We're a community now. It's not even
film.
just a team. Such a large community. And we're getting the junior Ghostbusters involved this year as well. One of our 100 things to do for Portsmouth this year is to include juniors. So we're doing a Portsmouth 100 event.
Magical stuff. Well, let me know, because I'll be along for that as well. It's going to be a busy year for Portsmouth this year, and I can't wait to see what they do. Guys, thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to looking forward to come down, see what we get up to, and walk through that zone and put on that proton pack, and I will try my very hardest to give it back as well.
You won't want
to. I bet I won't.
You might after an hour or so.
Maybe so.
You could wear it round and do your podcast with you around the event.
I'm thinking to do a podcast on a proton pack. It's a challenge, and I will get the idea of what it's like for you guys that wear it all day long and all weekend.
You can borrow mine.
Good man.
That's the promise. You can borrow mine.
I will be recording podcast interviews around the event, so I will definitely be coming down and seeing the Busters and getting some interviews as well.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time today, for everything that you do, and we will see you on the 2nd and 3rd of May.
Take care, mate. We'll see you there.
And there we go. Another episode of the Portsmouth Comic-Con podcast complete. Andy and Tom, thank you so much for your time and for everything that you all do for Portsmouth Ghostbusters. It is a fantastic community that you have created, and I can't wait to see you all at Portsmouth Comic-Con on the 2nd and 3rd of May. If you haven't got your tickets yet, don't forget you can get those at portsmouthcomiccon.com. That link is in this podcast, as are all the links to the Portsmouth Ghostbusters social media pages. You will not want to miss what they get up to next. I have been your host, Luke Bugg, the Geek of Steel, and I'm getting excited because Portsmouth Comic-Con is getting very, very close. I'll be back soon with a brand new episode, and we'll find out more about what's happening this year.